Hello. Thank you for joining us for PlayFest Preview. My name is Cynthia White, and I'm the Director of New Play Development at Orlando Shakes. If you didn't already know, PlayFest is our annual festival featuring readings of new plays in development. Our mission is to bring you groundbreaking new works that touch on the issues of the times while also giving you access to the creative process. Since these works are still in development, you as an audience member will have the opportunity to give feedback and ask questions directly to the playwright after experiencing their work read by world-class performers. Since 1999, the festival has introduced over 163 new works to regional and nationwide audiences, including Karen Zacharias's Native Gardens, Mark Brown's Around the World in 80 Days, and Stevie Aki's Blackberry Winter. Out of those readings, we have produced 18 new plays in our main stage season. This is the first year that this event will be completely virtual. By moving to a virtual platform, PlayFest has the ability to draw playwrights, directors, actors, and audiences from across the nation to join in a shared artistic experience. Today, we're going to give you a sneak peek at what this year's plays are all about and what it's like to watch a virtual reading. Without further ado, I'm going to pass it on to our National New Play Network producer-in-residence, Nick Bublitz. Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much, Cynthia, for that excellent introduction. My name is Nick Bublitz, and I'm the producer-in-residence here at Orlando Shakes. And welcome to our first ever virtual PlayFest preview. We're coming to you live today talking all things PlayFest, and a big thank you to our presenting sponsors. For the second year, the Basil Keeney family joined City Beverages in presenting PlayFest 2020. I'm going to be giving you an exclusive sneak peek behind the scenes of our virtual New Play Festival. This year is a whole new experience as PlayFest makes the switch to a virtual platform over the span of 6 weeks, with a live reading occurring every week, starting on October 3rd and finishing on November 7th. What's so special about PlayFest is that these new plays are still in development. So during our rehearsal process, playwrights are able to hear their words aloud and actually continue adding to their plays, making cuts, adding scenes, and continuing to grow and explore. And you, as an audience member, get to be a part of this process. After each reading, there will be a live Q&A with the playwright and actors where the audience can ask questions and provide feedback about the play directly to the playwright as they continue on their creative journey. Today, to give you a taste of PlayFest, we're going to be meeting the playwrights behind the 6 incredible stories featured in this year's PlayFest that leads into a group Q&A where I take questions from you, the audience. We will also be giving you a first look of what our virtual readings will look like this year when some of our actors perform excerpts from 2 of this year's play. And stick around because there might be an exclusive discount for tickets that pops up somewhere in all of this. So without further ado, let's jump into our first interview. Up first is our playwright, Vincent Terrell Durham, who wrote the dramedy Polar Bears, Black Boys, and Prairie Fringed Orchids. You can catch that reading on the first weekend of PlayFest on Saturday, October 3rd at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Hi, Vincent. How are you doing this morning?
Hey, good morning, Nick. I'm great.
It's wonderful to have you here. How are you doing?
It's early on the West Coast, but I'm wide awake. I have some tea in me. It's good to see you.
Stay caffeinated. That's how you thrive, right?
Exactly.
Well, I was thinking we can break some ice first and then maybe jump into talking about the play. Does that work for you?
I'm ready.
Perfect. Well, okay. So while working, do you prefer coffee or tea? I think you just answered this one.
Oh, yes. Tea. I'm a tea man.
All right. When you write, do you prefer music or do you prefer quiet?
Oh, it's silence.
Silence? Are you an early bird or a night owl?
You know what? Actually, I did complain about being awake, but I'm an early bird. I really am.
Yeah, I'm on the later end. What comes first when you write a play, character or plot?
Ooh, actually, dialogue comes first. I just hear people talking to each other first.
I love that. What's your favorite writing snack?
Oh, I have it right here. Trident gum. Trident gum.
Trident gum.
Yes, oh my gosh, I must go through at least 12 packs a week, maybe.
Oh my gosh, it's low calorie, so you're not gaining any weight while you're writing, which is good.
Don't tell my dentist.
And you don't, yeah. All right, well, good answer. So I wanted to talk a little bit about Polar Bears, Black Boys, and Prairie Fringed Orchid. Tell me a little bit about it.
Sure. Well, I call this my cocktail party play, or my God of Carnage play, or my Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf play. It's about people being in a room just talking. And the plot of this play really is a white couple who is moved to Harlem. They want to get to know their Black neighbors a little bit better, so they invite them in for a cocktail party. And all kinds of conversations spring out of that one act. And yeah, it's kind of a roller coaster ride.
It sure is. It sure is. What inspired you to write about the subject matter at this point in your life?
It's really interesting. I started writing a 10-minute play in 2014 on this subject, and it was about saving the planet. Really, that was a prompt that I was giving. And Philando Castile had just been murdered at that time, and it was hard for me to reconcile trying to save the planet when my life might not even be, here. It was hard to think about recycling. So that's where the 10-minute play generated from, and then I just started expanding it from there.
And peeling it back, and it expounded into this, which is great. Well, thank you so much for giving us a brief preview of Polar Bears. We are going to see you at our live Q&A with all 6 of the playwrights. So thank you so much for telling us a little bit about Polar Bears, Black Boys, and Prairie Fringed Orchids. We'll see you in a few minutes.
Thank you, Nick.
Thank you, Vincent. Be sure to catch Polar Bears, Black Boys, and Prairie Fringed Orchids Saturday, October 3rd, the first week of PlayFest at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. The following weekend, we have a reading of Take My Hand and Wave Goodbye by PlayFest alum Tammy Ryan on Saturday, October 10th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Hi, Tammy. Good morning.
Hi. Hi, good morning.
It's good to see you.
Good to see you.
Yeah, well, it's wonderful to have you this morning. Where are you calling in from right now?
Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania.
Oh, so you're
That's where I'm based.
Perfect. Perfect. Well, are you ready for some rapid fire questions?
Okay.
All right. So when you write, do you sit at a desk or a couch?
Desk.
Desk is better for the back. Ergonomic. Early bird or night owl?
Early bird.
Coffee or tea when you write?
Oh, coffee.
Rehearsal or performance?
Rehearsal.
Favorite writing snack?
Whatever is in the fridge.
Fair enough.
I'll eat anything.
Do you prefer music or quiet when you write?
Absolute silence.
What comes first, character or plot?
I think character, but in situation.
Okay, I see that.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, perfect. Well, tell us a little bit about Take My Hand and Wave Goodbye.
Okay, so the play is about, generally, it's about the impact of gun violence on a family in Pittsburgh, focusing on the youngest daughter, who, this is her first experience of death, and who's trying to process grieving, and so as are the other family members to various degrees. And she begins to conjure her murdered aunt back, first in dreams, and then eventually, I guess the play is sort of a series of visitations with the aunt, who focuses each family member on the last time that they saw her. And asking the question if they could have done anything differently, would there have been a different outcome?
Right. What was the inspiration behind Take My Hand and Wave Goodbye?
Yeah, it started in a very deeply personal place. In 2009, my family experienced a sudden loss, which we found out about through a phone call, and we were out of town when this happened. And the impact of that loss on my family for the next, number of years, and other losses that we had, especially on my daughters. I tried to write this play in a lot of different iterations. Then I would say there's also the epidemic of gun violence in our country. was definitely an influence on the play. And then, of course, tragically, the Tree of Life massacre in Pittsburgh, which is less than a mile from my house, happened, and I knew that I had to write this play whether I wanted to or not. Given all of that, it's told with a lot of humor, I think. I mean, that's part of the way I write. So I tried to. It took me a long time to write because I was trying to get to a place where I could find light in it, if that makes any sense.
And sometimes grief and humor are very tied in one in one.
Yeah.
That's what I find, at least.
Right.
But thank you so much for coming and talking a little bit about Take My Hand. We're going to see you a little bit later in the Q&A, but be sure to catch Take My Hand and Wave Goodbye on Saturday, October 10th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Up next, we have playwright and previous PlayFest alum, Rachel Lynette, who wrote the dark comedy Apologies to Lorraine Hansberry, to August Wilson, in our third weekend of PlayFest on Saturday, October 17th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Hi, Rachel. How are you doing? Oh, you're muted.
Hello. Sorry. Hi.
No, sorry, it happens. This is live, and we roll with it. How are you doing this morning?
Good. Good.
Where are you calling in from?
I'm in Madison, Wisconsin.
Perfect. I'm Chicago, and I'm doing great to answer your question. I love the TARDIS that you have in the background.
Thank you.
Like calling out Doctor Who. Perfect. Are you ready for some few rapid fire questions?
I'm ready.
Perfect. All right. Do you prefer coffee or tea when you're working?
Coffee.
Great. Do you write by hand or do you type into a computer?
I type.
Music or quiet?
Music. I'm surprised at how many people like silence. Music for sure.
What music do you listen to?
I make a playlist based on the play and listen to that playlist as I write.
I love that. Early bird or night owl?
Both. I wake up early and I go to bed late.
You're working all day. Great. Rehearsal or performance?
I really like the performance. I really like to sit back and watch the actors just kind of take control and to see what they explore that I didn't see in the play. That's really exciting to me.
Oh, beautiful. Favorite writing snack? I
like things that because of the way I write, I like things that I can grab very quickly. So like I'll have like a seaweed snack or like crackers, and I'll just like grab it as I'm typing, and like I just like surround myself by snacks.
You have to, especially when you're writing, and everyone's writing a lot right now. So let's talk about your play, Apologies to Lorraine Hansberry, you to August Wilson. Tell me a little bit about it.
Yeah, so this play, I like to think of it as like a group of characters in search of the definition of Blackness. The play, the simple version to explain the play is that it's in this utopia world where Black people have claimed Northern California for their own, and it's an all-Black, either depending on what act you're in, all-Black neighborhood or all-Black state, and just what are the intersectionalities of prejudice, kind of, and like what lives in us, what's not there. How do we just even begin to define what it means to be Black, and how does gatekeeping work within the community?
Right.
Which that conversation is changing a lot right now, but so that's kind of like the gist of the play is like who gets to be Black and who doesn't, and why is it important to gatekeep?
Right. And what was the inspiration behind this subject matter at this point in your writing career?
Yeah, so I've been teaching for a couple of years now, and it's really surprising to me how many students I have who, when I say name a Black playwright, they can only name, if they can name, Lorraine Hansberry or August Wilson. And I feel like that creates a very monolithic approach to Blackness. And so I wanted to write a play that kind of like took kind of the like Pittsburgh cycle feel, took the Raisin in the Sun domestic feel, and kind of blow that genre up a little bit. And that's why it's called Apologies to both of them. But in a way that's like not saying that they're not important, but that there are other playwrights too. And there are other ways to talk about Black theater.
I love that. Thank you so much. We'll see you in a bit for our live Q&A. We're looking forward to it.
Thank you.
Of course. Make sure to check out Apologies to Lorraine Hansberry, You Too, August Wilson on Saturday, October 17th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. The following weekend, we have Welcome to Matson, a dark comedy by Inda Craig Galvan on October 24th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Hi, Inda.
Hello.
How's it going?
Good. Yes, early. It's West Coast. Good.
West Coast, Best Coast, right?
Yep.
Perfect. And where are you calling in from specifically on the West Coast?
A little town called Simi Valley.
Oh, I've heard of that.
Yeah. You may remember the trial after the guys beat Rodney King. I was here.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Are you ready for some rapid fire questions?
Okay.
All right. Coffee or tea?
Tea.
Early bird, night owl?
I get a lot done early in the morning, but I hate it. So, and then I end up falling asleep at night. I don't know. I got to do a night owl, but I can't hang.
So like Rachel's answer, it's a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
You're up all day.
All day.
I feel that life. Do you write by hand or type by computer?
I wrote one play once by hand and it was fine, but I prefer to type because I can just go faster.
What was that like by hand?
I would do like one scene a day.
Oh, wow.
And then once I had like a big chunk of the play, I transcribed it and was like, what did I write? But it was good. It was interesting. It flows a different way.
Yeah, it's a different medium for sure.
Yeah.
Do you prefer music or quiet?
Music. With no words, just like a jazz instrumental or some nature sounds.
Ooh, I do the same thing when I need to focus. I completely feel that.
Yeah.
Listen to either rain or piano underplaying everything. I feel like I'm
or some chimes or some frogs.
Exactly. I love that. Rehearsal or performance?
Kind of like Lynette, Lynette performance. Something about like just sitting there and hearing somebody say your words with other people around you, and it's like, oh, that's a thing.
Yeah, it elevates what is off the page, the words, and I think that at the core, that's what PlayFest is about: is you, the playwright, and the words that you have created and crafted, which is always a wonderful thing. Well, can you tell us a little bit about your play, Welcome to Matson?
Yeah, I think the overview is that it's about how we behave in a situation that we're forced to be in. So you're in a situation beyond your control, which is kind of timely now. But specifically, it's about an African American couple in sort of an affluent, nice neighborhood who hosted Welcome to the Neighborhood dinner party for their new neighbors, who are another African American couple who were forced into a relocation from one of Chicago's most notorious housing projects, and how we sort of the intra-racial politics of that, and how we look at each other when we're the same but not quite the same.
Right. And I'm western suburbs of Chicago, so I know Matson very well. What inspired you to write about the subject matter?
I lived in the south suburbs of Chicago when that relocation was happening, adjacent to Matson. And I remember seeing a flyer going around that was like, keep them out of our neighborhood, and thinking that's horrible, assuming it's, a racist sort of thing, but then realizing, kind of like the internet, it's anonymous. It could have been anybody. It could have been, Flo at the grocery store. It could have been a Black person who created that flyer. And wanted to tell a story of like, what if it is like, what if this isn't about white privilege, but more about our internalized racism and our thoughts of, who belongs where.
Excellent. Well, thank you so much for telling us a little bit about everything. We're going to be able to talk more about plays in a little bit with our Q&A, but we will see you then. Cool. Thank you so much, Inda.
Thank you.
Of course. Don't miss Welcome to Matson on October 24th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Up next is playwright and former PlayFest alum, Vincent Delaney. That's right, we have another Vincent D in our group of PlayFest playwrights who wrote the comedy The Wheel Woman with a PlayFest reading on Friday, that's right, Friday, October 30th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Hi, Vincent.
Hey, good morning. How's it going?
It's going great. How are you? How are you enjoying the show so far?
I'm so happy to meet another Vincent who's a playwright. I've been doing this for years. It's the first time. So
Really?
awesome. Yeah.
And a Vincent D nonetheless, you know? We all of the communications going out and like Vincent D, which Vincent D? No, that's the way it goes. But thank you so much. Where are you calling from this morning?
Seattle, Washington, where we are staying indoors. In fact, we're not going outside at all.
Please stay indoors. Please stay indoors. We're ready for some icebreakers, talking about you as the writer.
Not really, but you go for it. Let's go.
We'll keep it simple. What comes first, character or plot?
I would say the vibe comes first, the location, the place, really.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah.
Excellent. Coffee or tea?
Definitely coffee.
Me too. I'm on my third cup today. Do you prefer music or do you prefer silence?
Well, I in theory music, but I'm always kind of looking for silence. So I guess I didn't really answer your question. Yeah, silence.
A little bit of everything, right? So do you prefer rehearsal or performance?
Oh, got to be rehearsal. I feel so useless in performance. It's hard to take.
Right. And what's your favorite writing snack of all of it? It could be coffee.
I hate to admit it, but it's probably just a carrot. I'm usually just kind of gnawing on something when I'm working.
Awesome. Excellent. Well, perfect. Tell us a little bit about The Wheel Woman.
So it is the true story of Annie Londonderry, who in 1894 took on a wager to become the first woman to bicycle solo around the entire world. And she did it in a way that set off a firestorm in the women's movement. It was unbelievably controversial that she did this. And, the more I learned about her, her story is unbelievable. It's absolutely incredible. And it's largely unknown. People don't know the story.
Right. Awesome. And what inspired you to write about Annie at this point?
I just found her. I was literally looking. I write from history a lot. I was looking for sort of forgotten historical figures that had a certain heroism to them. I want to, how can I add to the conversation in a way today and find somebody that speaks to today in a way that's heroic? And I think she's unbelievably heroic, but she's also very modern because she's kind of a P.T. Barnum character at the same time. I mean, she's not the person you think she is when you first meet her. And I think that speaks to today. I really do.
Can you talk a little bit about the size of the cast and the breakdown of everything?
Right. So there's 1 million characters, actually.
Yes.
20 characters, but I'm doing it all with 5 actresses, 5 women. And the idea there is I want this sense of sort of community.
Mm-hmm.
I want the sense of a sort of a choral kind of feeling. And because it's so much about the patriarchal vibes of that time and of this time, it seems to me that there's something to be mined there with having just women on stage. And I'm really excited about the possibility, want to explore it further, and we're going to dive in, see how it works.
Perfect. Well, we're going to see you in just a few minutes with our live Q&A where all of the playwrights get to talk with each other. But thank you so much for talking about The Wheel Woman. We'll see you then. Thanks, Vincent. Be sure to catch The Wheel Woman on Friday, October 30th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Last, and certainly not least, we are joined by playwright and PlayFest alum Deneen Reynolds-Knott with her drama Flashes and Floaters, closing out our virtual PlayFest experience on Saturday, November 7th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hi, Deneen. How are you doing this morning?
I'm great. Great to see you. And great to hear about all these wonderful plays. I'm really excited about what they're posing. So
we're so thrilled to have all of you here, and it is here in virtual space. Typically, PlayFest is, as you know, in Orlando, but this medium is a really interesting and very fun way of kind of going about PlayFest this year.
Definitely.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much. Where are you calling in from?
Brooklyn, New York.
Excellent. Well, let's break some ice. You've seen them all before. You know the questions. Coffee or tea?
It's complicated. So I like tea and I like cappuccino, but I don't have a cappuccino machine. So cappuccino is like an expensive habit. I'd have to go out and buy it.
Yes.
So tea wins by a default.
Okay, I like that answer. Coffee is very expensive, and I've been forced to, being in my house for a while, I've been forced to start brewing my own coffee, and that's an expensive habit to pick up. Writing by hand or typing by computer?
Oh, I like both.
Yeah.
So I do a lot of notes. I take a lot of notes and I do a lot of handwriting and notebooking. And then I type, like when I'm actually writing the script. Even though I think with Flashes and Floaters, I did do quite a bit of handwriting. So I like both.
A little bit both. All right. Music or quiet?
Both. It depends. Sometimes I need quiet, and then sometimes I enjoy music. And sometimes I do have a playlist. It just depends on the play. I have an artist that I listen to. I listened to a lot of Gregory Porter while I was writing Flashes and Floaters.
So it's dependent on the type of play that you're writing.
Yeah, or just how I'm feeling that day. It can go either way. Sometimes I need silence. Sometimes I want music.
Multifaceted. I love these answers. Desk or couch?
Desk.
Yeah. What comes first? Character, plot? I've heard dialogue. I've heard vibe.
Character.
Yeah.
I like the character histories, the ways that the characters have known each other and the relationships and how they've worked. I work a lot of that out first.
Excellent. Rehearsal or performance?
Rehearsal.
Mm.
I love the conversations, the questions that are posed. It makes me look at the play in a different way. I'm very process oriented, so I enjoy the new questions and digging in, and yeah.
Yeah, and sometimes when the actors kind of get involved, when they're lifting the text off of the script, things kind of change in your mind, I'm sure too.
Oh yeah, I just love it. I love the discussion around it. Like I just love being able to talk about and have them defend their characters or say like, well, what's up with that? Like, why did that character do that? You know,
and ask you questions you didn't even think of before. Yeah, that's great. Perfect. So let's talk about Flashes and Floaters. What can you tell us about your play?
Sure. So in Flashes and Floaters, we meet Rochelle, and Rochelle is trying to solve a puzzle. She's trying to balance being an expectant mother, working full time, and looking after her father as he deals with progressive vision loss. So with her coworkers, they join forces to create their own workers cooperative, their own company in the face of overwhelming odds, because she's hoping that having control of her own labor is going to lead to more balance in her life.
Right. And what was the inspiration behind writing this play?
Well, I found myself a few years ago in as part of this group called Sandwich Moms, where I was taking care of 2 young children, and also I had caregiving responsibilities for my father. And so that was such a challenge, and you learn so much about the limits of the system, of the care system, long-term care system, and it just opened my eyes to a lot of things. And at the same time, I was also getting to know a lot of cooperative movement spaces and the way that people were talking about cooperative movement and workers cooperatives, but also the hard work of what it means to have a democratic workplace where everyone has a say.
Yeah.
Sounds great. But sitting in a room where everyone has a say. So, you know.
Too many cooks sometimes, you know?
It's not necessarily utopic, but I was really interested in that striving.
Yeah. You hit something on that. You obviously, because you wrote it, you hit something on the head that kind of struck a chord with me, but trying to solve a puzzle is that like that little piece of information kind of just broke open a lot of things for me. And I really, yes, absolutely. I thought that's a great way of kind of describing it. Cause Rochelle is, she's solving it, and she's doing her best with all of the situation that she's currently kind of experiencing. I like the way that was described.
Yeah, I think it's and also we're in a strange moment because, well, we're in a moment where so many things are exposed. But now we're talking so much about caregiving and so much about what this moment means for mothers and what it means for teachers and what it means for people who need to care for their parents or, an elderly, relative. And so it is a puzzle.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for talking a little bit about Flashes and Floaters. We're going to see you in just a second when we bring you all up for some live Q&As. But don't forget to catch the last play of PlayFest, Flashes and Floaters, on Saturday, November 7th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Tickets to all 6 of these playwrights' plays are on sale now at orlandoshakes.org. So get your tickets. Now that we've gotten a chance to get to know each of the playwrights and their plays, we're going to bring them all back to answer some of the questions from our viewers. If you have any questions, please add it to the comments section below. Hi, everyone.
Hey.
So I think I'm going to kick things off around the circle. We'll start with Vincent. We'll go around Rachel, Tammy, Vincent, Inda, up to Deneen. Let's talk, what is your ideal writing environment? Are you at a desk listening to music? What is the most productive and inspired environment that you can create for yourself when writing a play?
Well, for me, it's curtains drawn, shades drawn, darkness. I like to be in darkness.
That's great.
Rachel.
I mean, kind of like I said, I just like to be surrounded by snacks. I shift where I go, so I start in bed usually, and then my back starts to hurt because I'm getting older. And then now I'll like move to the desk, but I'll also move all my snacks with me. So I just need snacks nearby, so I don't have to move for about 8 hours.
Right. Tammy.
I like creating sort of a residency when I'm writing, because I have 2 children. They're older now, but when they were younger, I would go to residencies to draft out a play. So I try to create a residency at home, which isn't always easy. But quiet, isolation, someone making my meals, things like that.
That's always helpful.
That's what I dream about.
Yeah, someone making my meals is always a great thing for me. Vincent.
Yeah, I like that's a good one. I need to be on my feet. I like to have everything up high so I can get up, and I'm always kind of prowling, pacing around. And it's weird, but I like interruptions. Like we have 3 kids, so that's baked in. But like just to be able to I don't know, my focus is always going back and forth, and then something new comes in.
Awesome. Inda.
This is it right here. This is my writing space. This is my desk in my office, and I usually have a candle burning, tea, potato chips, which is my snack choice because I need to hear the crunch. And yeah,
awesome. Deneen.
I don't know if I have an ideal space. Lately I'm just waking up really early so I can be alone before my kids get up. That's basically it. I just sit at the eating table and have some tea there, and I really miss cafes like that. I really am. I like to write in cafes, and I miss doing that a lot.
Right. So okay, perfect. With our next question, we have a question from Raj. What do you want the audiences to take away from your PlayFest show? That's an umbrella question, but any vibes, one-word answers, totally appropriate to say anything. Vincent.
Well, one word, conversation. And if I can keep going, I just want people to start talking. Once you see the play, I want you to leave, and you need to talk to somebody. You need to talk to the person who sat next to you. You need to talk to your spouse. Just dialogue.
Yeah, dialogue is always important, especially after a play. Rachel.
I don't know yet. I think that's something I'm going to discover in development. So I'm so excited about having opportunities like this. I have a couple of ideas, but I'm not 100% sure yet what the takeaway is.
Perfect. Tammy.
I think appreciation of the now, to be in touch, to sort of touch where their emotions might have gotten riled up in this play, and appreciate the people that are around them and the world right now.
Perfect. Vincent.
I would say, a sense of adventure and possibility. Like, we don't have to live the way we're living. I mean, my character, she was 24. She had 3 kids. She'd never been on a bicycle in her life, and look what she did. And there's something about that I think we need. We need that sense of possibility.
Right. Inda.
I think because these characters are so different, it's not about we're all the same and we're all everybody's that, because we aren't. There are differences, and appreciating the differences and understanding that it's okay that we are different and certain people need more help or need more in order to get an even start in life. Different people are starting from different places.
Perfect. Janine.
I hope that Fashion Coder leads to a reflection about community and how can community buoy us, how can we recess resources and assets to one another.
Excellent. Do we have more? Perfect. From Lexi, for all the playwrights, how long have you been working on your script? Good question. Why don't we started with Vincent, so why don't we start with Inda? How long have you been working on your script?
I started with when I was in grad school, so probably 2016. I think I started this play. And it's sort of evolved and been developed since then and put away and picked back up.
Perfect. Mr. Vincent Delaney.
Whoa.
Starting to reverse.
Total loop. I can tell you exactly. I discovered Annie Londonderry last fall, so about a year ago. Went nuts with the research for about 2 months or so. Wrote like crazy. Had the first draft in February this year. Then the universe changed, and then I just didn't know what to do. So it's been less than a year. It's been quick. Less than a year. Yeah.
Oh, excellent. Tammy.
So I guess I wrote the first 30 pages in 2017 at a residency with La Mama. But I think I've been wrestling with how to write this play probably since 2009. So I tend to live with my plays for a long time before they finally come out.
Right. Rachel.
I wrote this play in October of last year. So it's also pretty new.
Yeah. Vincent Durham.
Yes, thank you for this question. I get to correct something I said earlier. The 10-minute play wasn't in 2014, it was 2016. So I wrote the 10-minute play in 2016, and then 2017, I started working on the full-length play.
Perfect. Excellent. And Janine.
I started in 2018, and I wrote the play Island Residence at Deliberation Theater Company.
Perfect. And I'm sorry, I missed that date, that year?
2018.
Okay, 2018. Perfect. Any more questions? Darren, from Darren, as you're writing, do the characters eventually take a life and voice of their own? Ooh. Well, we start with Tammy.
Yes, that's the problem. But no, and it's also the great, pleasure, I think, of writing. But yes, absolutely. I try to get to a place like Deneen. I do a lot of work on my characters, like their backstory, their relationships, who they are. And when I get to the point where they can start talking to me, that's when I know I'm ready to write the play.
Beautiful. Rachel.
Yes, definitely. I think I kind of start there because of the way that I write. I just like to wake up and I just hear voices and I'm like, I better write these down. So, yeah.
Vincent.
Which one?
Oh, Mr. Vincent Durham.
Okay, sure. It's a wonderful Twilight Zone kind of thing. Yes, the characters, they just start talking and they start taking on their own personalities, and it's a wonderful thing to experience and watch happen.
Janine.
Yes, definitely. If that's not happening, that play's going in a drawer.
Right.
I wouldn't even keep writing. I'd be like, this is not going to happen, and it's over. Yeah.
Not talking to me. I don't want to write them.
Yeah, that has to happen.
Yeah. Inda.
Yeah, same. I feel like I'm just hearing their conversation and writing down what they're saying.
Beautiful. Vincent Delaney.
Yeah, definitely. Especially like for this one, writing in that 1890s sort of Gilded Age idiom, it just came to life for me once I kind of got into that.
Yeah.
It was really fun. Yeah.
Perfect. Well, let's take one last question from Larry. While writing your plays, were you working on other plays or projects at the same time? If so, how easy or difficult was it for you to focus on each? So while you're working on this play, are you working on other things? That can be a lot sometimes, and that's sometimes the reality. I'll start with Rachel.
Sorry for my response. Yes, I'm always working on other things, it feels like. I have a joke that whenever I have a deadline for a play, I write a different play instead. Which is true. I just did that this weekend. Yeah, I also work full time in production. And so like I'm also doing tech stuff while trying to write plays, and there's always a million things at once.
Yeah, the world of an artist. It wouldn't be, there's no other way to do it, right?
Right.
Tammy.
Yeah, I would say that similar. Although I want to be writing one thing at a time. That's my goal and dream and desire. But life interferes, and then other projects or other deadlines. But yeah, it's a constant. I wrestle with this constantly. But yes, I'm working on other things right now.
Beautiful. Vincent Delaney.
Yeah, I'm the same way as Tammy. I wish I could just be doing one. I've had like 5 things I had to get done, writing projects for the summer, and they're all radically distinct. But the nice thing is when you come back to this, like, you see stuff because you really have not thought about it at all. So that's kind of the only positive about it.
Sometimes stepping away provides more clarity than you ever thought. Yeah. Inda.
Yeah, I was writing the first draft in grad school, so I had like probably 3 things I was working on for that first draft. And then ever since, that's just been my mentality. So if I ever got back down to just 3, that would be awesome. But I'm usually juggling 6, 7 different things in different mediums at the same time.
Right. And Deneen.
I only write one first draft at a time. I can't. I'm to the point that I can work on the first draft and maybe revise something else, or work on the first draft and maybe, notebook for another project. But I can't. I just get so immersed into the draft. I can't do it.
Right.
I think for now, maybe you all will give me some tips. But for now, it's not happening.
I can't even imagine what that's like.
Vincent.
It sounds amazing, though.
Vincent Durham.
Oh, yeah, sure. Actually, I'm the person who's cooking for Tammy while she's writing. So that's what I'm doing.
Thank you.
If you want to cook for me, I'll take your cooking too. I mean,
I couldn't resist a joke.
Please. I'm happy to eat any food right now. Perfect. Well, that's all the time we have for questions today. But for all of you, thank you so much for joining us today and talking a little bit about your play.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure, and we will see you at PlayFest. Yeah.
See you, buddy.
We will see you all at PlayFest. Now, for all of you watching right now, this won't be the last time you see these playwrights. Over the course of this festival, we really want you to get to know them. So the Wednesday before each reading, we'll be going live on Facebook with the playwrights to really dive a little bit more into their scripts and chat about their creative process for their respective shows. You can also keep an eye on the Orlando Shakes blog, where we will be posting interviews as well. And finally, be sure to book your tickets to the live virtual readings so you can experience their work and get to the heart of their creative process. On that note, I'm going to pass the baton to our box office manager, Crystal, to talk about the special discounts that are available for this weekend only. But be sure to stick around for a sneak peek of readings from 2 of our PlayFest scripts. Take it away, Crystal.
Hello, my name is Crystal Rankowski, and I am the box office manager here at Orlando Shakes. I'm excited to share with you today several ticket options so you can make the most out of this year's virtual PlayFest. Single tickets are on sale now for all 6 of these new play readings. And since you joined us today, we have a special buy one, get one offer valid only this weekend. By using the discount code at checkout PF2020, you'll get access to 2 separate readings for the price of 1. Again, this discount code is only valid this weekend, September 12th and 13th, so don't hesitate. Book your virtual tickets online today at orlandoshakes.org. If you're interested in seeing all 6 of these new play readings, you can also save by purchasing a PlayFest Pass. For $48, get access to this entire virtual festival, a $60 value. But there's more. If you're interested in earning behind-the-scenes access, become a PlayFest patron. For a donation of $125 per person acknowledged, a PlayFest patron makes you one of our biggest supporters for this event. You'll gain benefits including tickets to all 6 of the play readings, donor recognition, and an exclusive invitation to a virtual event with the playwrights. Plus, pizza and champagne delivered to your home before the inaugural Orlando Shakes virtual PlayFest reading. Email development@orlandoshakes.org to learn more about these benefits. Thank you for joining us today, and don't forget to book your tickets now for PlayFest 2020. Again, the BOGO code valid only this weekend is PF2020. We look forward to having you join us virtually until we can reunite safely in our theaters. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Crystal. I know I'm taking advantage of this BOGO code, and you should too. Tickets are on sale now at orlandoshakes.org. We're excited because this is our first virtual PlayFest, but what exactly will that look like for our patrons? Well, to show you, we've arranged to show you 2 of our excerpts from PlayFest scripts. Our first excerpt comes from Flashes and Floaters by Deneen Reynolds-Knott, read by Christy Clark as Rochelle and Jessica T. Johnson as Ivy. Without further ado, here is Flashes and Floaters.
I'm really happy with how these came out.
I love this paper. I just wish it wasn't so expensive.
I'm looking for a place that sells the similar paper within our range. Did you watch the online information session I sent you from the incubator?
I did.
What did you think?
It seems very selective.
Yeah, probably.
I mean, I like how much support they would give us to start the business, but who knows if we'll get in.
I think we have a great shot. We're doing the work. We have the customers. We got to put together a really good application. I'm more worried about if they want a group of 3 or more.
2 is fine.
But they would prefer a bigger team. I do too.
Ivy.
I'm telling you.
What? Just so we can have 3 more names on the application?
If I was on a panel looking at our proposal, I would notice that there are only 2 people who are design focused. What about sales? And seriously, who is better at sales?
Miriam would never, and she doesn't like me.
Is that the pregnancy making you paranoid?
I know you don't want to get in the middle.
Then why put me there? I wouldn't suggest it if I didn't think you 2 would hit it off.
Hit it off?
Outside of Oak Terrace, you don't really see each other. You're hardly there at the same time.
Yeah, but when we are, it's not great. I mean, you really trust her?
Yes. Then she's bored at Oak.
She said that?
I can tell. Let's pitch it to her, huh? Even if she hates the idea, it'll be like practice for our proposal. If she likes it, then we got a team of 3 and a better chance of getting in. And if we get in and we get off the ground, no more rushing orders with slivers of time on nights and weekends. We could really claim it as our work. We have time to develop our style and learn new techniques, get real creative with it.
Okay, Ivy, but I mean, we have to get in first.
What's wrong?
I don't know. You're getting all excited and you're making me nervous.
Why?
I mean, we say the word myself, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, don't you feel like we have a lot of selves? Okay, look, you got your work self, you got your home self, and then you got an artsy self, and you got your daughter's self.
And wife self, and good time self.
Mm-hmm. Who knows what my mother's self will be? Then I go to one place and I play up one self while making the others disappear. Do you feel like you do that?
Of course. Not like I did back in the day, but still.
This is a chance to take all myself with me wherever I go. For the last couple of years, my proudest works have been these moments. Nothing to do with Oak.
Me too. You know why?
Because we enjoy doing it.
We own it. It's ours.
Form allows the actors to perform from the safety of their own homes. Up next is a reading from the play The Wheelwoman by Vincent Delaney, read by Sarah Hubert as Mr. Orson, Janice Monk as Mrs. Archer, and Christy Clark as Annie Londonderry. And I will be setting up the scene. Here is The Wheelwoman. Projection, August 21st, 1894, Rochester Highway. Muddy roads, fields, Annie rides, hot, sweaty, miserable, pedaling slowly. Each turn of the wheel is a battle, her long dress bunched and constricting. Walking on her right, Mrs. Archer, moralist. On her left, Mr. Orson, phrenologist.
My opposition to the bicycle is one of morality.
In what sense, madam?
It has been known to lure young girls directly into sin.
Please do elaborate.
The loosening of common standards of decency, the undignified tendency to sweat and breathe heavily.
Oh, will you please shut up?
There is an alarming increase of immorality among today's young women. Do you know the cause, sir?
The bicycle, madam?
None other, the devil's wheel.
I can't do this. I can't get anywhere.
You should return to your family. That is, if they will take you back, I would refuse you.
As would I.
Do you wish to be an outcast?
I am an outcast.
And why is that?
Because I choose it.
Madam, I'm afraid the situation is even more severe than you describe it.
Pray tell, sir.
I speak to the dangers to the female organs.
What?
What?
The subject is quite delicate.
What about my female organs?
I speak now as a man of science.
Please, speak.
I refer to the matter of the seat.
The seat?
And friction.
Sir, I am at a loss to comprehend your meaning.
Madam, the evidence is clear that the constant friction and motion of the bicycle seat is the cause of unnatural overstimulation of the female sexual organs.
I knew it.
You're joking.
If only, miss.
The source of female weakness, delineated by the devil himself. Oh, no wonder they love to ride.
There is nothing sexual about this activity. I'm stuck. Why can't I ride this thing?
Because, my dear girl, you weren't meant to ride it.
I've lost 8 pounds. I've bruises and scrapes and a broken finger. I've crashed 4 times. I'm starving for lack of food. And in 6 weeks, I've come exactly 320 miles. How far do I have to go?
26,905 miles.
What do I do? What do I do?
You could take the train.
I would take the train.
Comfort, courtesy.
Dignity. And a dining car.
And so much less wicked.
I am not a liar, sir.
The shape of your skull says otherwise.
I beg your pardon.
I simply refer to the science of phrenology, of which I am an advanced practitioner.
Oh, be quiet. Just stop it. Just stop. And why are you not helping a fellow woman?
I am helping you. You are at constant risk of sin. Alone on the devil's advanced agent. Oh, many a girl has come to ruin on a spin through a country road.
What could possibly happen?
There are hundreds, thousands of smooth-talking young men eager to prey upon a lady's honor. What if you meet one of them?
I won't meet any of them. Not on Rochester Highway.
And that is just a taste of what's to come for this year's virtual Play Festival. Don't forget to grab your tickets to Polar Bears, Black Boys, Prairie Fringed Orchids by Vincent, Terrell, Durham on October 3rd at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Take My Hand and Wave Goodbye by Tammy Ryan on Saturday, October 10th at 7:30 p.m. Eastern. Apologies to Lorraine Hansberry, U2 August Wilson by Rachel Lynette on Saturday, October 7th at 7:30 p.m. Welcome to Matson by Inda Craig Galvan on October 24th at 7:30 p.m. The Wheel Woman on Friday, October 30th at 7:30 p.m. and Flashers and Floaters by Deneen Reynolds Knott on November 7th at 7:30 p.m. Also, don't forget about our exclusive buy one, get one offer valid only for this weekend. Use discount code PF2020 at checkout to watch 2 readings for the price of 1. Again, this code is only valid this weekend, September 12th and 13th. And be sure to get your tickets at orlandoshakes.org. From all of us here at Orlando Shakes, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon, and we will see you at PlayFest.